Hey, what's up, guys? I'm just about to push another update to the game, and I was going to show some of the stuff that I've been doing. This is going to be a shorter video, I think. So I've got these particle beam weapons. Wait, where'd my sound go? There it is. I got the little... I changed kind of how the enemies spawn in. They spawn in packs. I made the enemy's stats scale. I kind of changed. Before there was like flat enemy stats. There was like the drones, sentinels, reapers, warden, core mine, whatever. And so before, the drones always had the same stats. Each tier always had the same stats. Now, instead of just having 5 tiers with harder stats, I'm gonna die if I don't focus. Instead of having 5 tiers, each with fixed stats, I changed each of the enemy types to be like roles. The drones are more like scouts, sentinels are like suppressor, the reapers are brawlers, the wardens are bruisers, and then the core mines are support. Now, for now, all that means is some of them are slower, some of them hit harder, some of them have more HP, and I'm trying to balance the roles on their base stats. But then later, there will be like different things, like a support may provide additional shields to the other enemies around it. The suppressor might lower accuracy. Drone may increase team accuracy as like a scout. Different like roles that they'll have, and that was always the intention. But yeah, so so that's a little bit different. This new weapon, the particle beam, is a laser point to point. It's sort of, it takes a second to lock on, but once it locks on, it starts building stacks, and the higher the stacks get, the more damage per tick that it does. And all of the weapon upgrades apply: fire rate, damage, accuracy, crit chance. And the difference is, on a crit tick, instead of doing extra damage, the crit tick just increases stacks quicker. So like on a crit tick, the stack will increase by 2, whereas on a hit tick, the stack increases by 1. Graze and miss, likewise, but inversely, a graze hit will decrease at a baseline, will decrease the stacks by 1. A complete miss will decrease the stacks by 2. Unless you get upgrades to minimize that, you can get upgrades for acquire time, which means you lock on quicker. The tick interval starts out at half a second, so it ticks every half second as a base. But rate of fire upgrades decrease the tick interval. So right now I'm getting about 4 ticks per second, and so each one of those applies these stats. So it's a good weapon, but it's not great against a lot of small enemies. It's great against like asteroids or like heavy hitting enemies. I'm going to be implementing a boss win condition pretty soon, but I think particle beam would be really good against bosses. And I've sort of got a build right now where I've got 2 pulse guns and 2 particle beams, so that I don't get stuck on one enemy. It also, the targeting is a little bit different. It has more of a sticky targeting, whereas the pulse gun and laser, they always target the closest enemy, and the drones always target the weakest enemy. Well, the particle beam always targets the closest enemy, but once it has a target, instead of constantly checking for a new target, it sticks on phase lock stabilizer. So this is one of the new upgrades for the particle beam. 80% acquire time, -1 loss on graze, -1 loss on miss. I already have 0 loss on graze, 0 loss on miss. So if I were to get this, it would just be for the acquire time. But I'm definitely taking another pulse gun because I can afford it, and it's a pretty sizable DPS boost for right now. You can see that those Reapers had like 150 hull. They're also hitting me a lot harder. So the enemies scale the stats, their offensive and defensive stats scale with wave, scale with time, scale with threat. And so I was noticing that once you got the right upgrades, you basically just became unkillable, and I don't think that's very fun. Now, like, the pressure increases, and I've been kind of tuning the scaling of the enemies for the last few runs just to get it kind of good. And I have it at a place where, like, I'm actually just constantly, like, I kill them fast, but they also can kill me fast. So I have to be careful of where I go. I'm trying to continually collect my nanobots and collect upgrades. Also, the enemies, their thrust stat scales as well, so they're faster, so they can kind of like catch up to you, so you can't just outrun them all the time. I will definitely take salvage magnet, get my economy going a little bit better, and you can see the particle beams. As soon as they kill an enemy, they start locking on. Oh, these are good. I'm actually going to take another particle beam. As soon as the enemy dies, they start locking on to the next one. I think it looks really cool. I think it's a cool weapon. I'm still trying to figure out if I like those or the drones better. And actually, now that I've been testing the particle beams, like, I've been using those like a lot. But so you'll have to try and see, now that there's specific upgrades for those two weapons. I would love, this is a good one, because I need some defense, some survivability. I'm getting chunked down really quick. Where are the enemies? There they are. Yeah, I'm gonna die. Oh, they're so strong. Oh my gosh. So I was gonna make the boss spawn at wave 30, but I'm thinking it might be wave 20 now because of how this is going. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna die. I have to remember to spam heal. I'm not used to having to heal. Usually when I get to this point, it's like I'm unkillable, so I don't worry about healing, but now I'm having to repair my hull, like, on cooldown. Plus I have 300 hull, so each repair, I need to remember to add the upgrades for the repair ability. What is there anything close? I've gotten all the upgrades. Okay, where am I going next? Let's go over here to this repair hangar. Really, I need shields, defense. You could kind of see the warp in visual effect. It's not like, I was kind of going for like a wormhole tunnel exit kind of animation. It's not really like that, but what I got is, I think, okay. This is actually really good. Increasing range, tick interval, base range, and range bonus, I think is good for the particle beam, because yeah, you can kind of reach out and touch them a little bit sooner before they can kind of get to me. Best defense is a good offense, so we'll see if that applies here. I need to decide what I'm going to spend my nanobots on. What's close? Repair hangars are close. Maybe we'll get speed or salvage magnets. 6 seconds until wave 20. Another particle beam. Why not? And now I have no nanobots. Okay, let's see how fast I can kill these core mines. Oh, I'm dead. No, I didn't die. No way. Dude, I'm very strong. That was cool. Oh, that was cool. I'm extremely strong right now. And no nanobots. But having all these particle beams with the upgrades that I have do make me relatively unkillable. I'm very strong. Which is good, but also like I don't have a win condition. So I in my test runs, I've been getting to this point where I'm like wow, this is so fun. I'm like unkillable, but then there's no point to it because the run just never ends. So I died. Okay. Anyway, well, hope you enjoyed that. Hope you've had a chance to try out the drones in the game. Yeah, try out the particle beam. Oh, I must have hit the unlock for the drone bay and the laser bolt. Cool. I unlocked heavy bruiser too, so that must mean, yep, I've unlocked the ace, heavy bruiser, and starting laser bolt, starting drone bay. That's cool. All right. Well, I will see you in the next one. Take care.